I'll do the intro one time through, and then I'm going to count you in, okay?
Okay.
2, 3, 4.
The great white light that burns for us, leads us on, it makes us trust, shows us love, and drips with pain, allows us all to feel the world, allows us all to make a change. I can see your light, this is my gift. So many people burning down, so many people need a lift. Starts with one big smile and grows with every laugh, with every hug and kiss and high five, keeps the light from holding back.
2, 3.
So give your light some love, fill your love with sound. Give that sound a little light from the sky straight to the ground, and let it heal your heart. Your heart will free your mind. Take the negative input and flip it upside down. 'Cause when we let our pain run free to grow and rage, it burns a little of our light out every single day. Allow yourself to breathe. Kick back, relax and dream. So many good things come to those who love relentlessly.
2, 3.
A global plight, first fear and strife, what might test to do what's right. We will live on, yes this I know. There's so much cruel unjust around us, only strengthens our resolve. We need to feed the flame that burns inside our souls. Unleash the great white light inside us, let it explode into the world. 'Cause we all have strength, and we all feel pain. It only matters how we use it. Let it heal our global strain.
2, 3, 4.
So give your light some love, fill your love with sound. Give that sound a little light from the sky straight to the ground, and let it feel your heart. Your heart will free your mind. Take the negative input and flip it upside down. 'Cause when we let our pain run free to grow and rage, it burns a little of our light out every single day. Allow yourself to breathe. Kick it back, relax and dream. So many good things come to those who love relentlessly.
Great job.
Did I do okay? Are you sure?
Hello everyone. This is Gabriel from Mythril Media, and today I'm speaking with local activist Najeli Rodriguez, former member of Provex. We're going to be discussing several rallies that happened on the same day last June in Providence, Rhode Island. One was a Black Women Lives Matter rally organized by the local BLM chapter, and the other was a Black Trans Lives Matter rally organized by Providence Pride and several other organizations, including one Najeli was a part of. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, Najeli.
Hi, it's Najeli.
Najeli, sorry. So, I guess I'll just get right into it here. What made you want to get involved with Providence Pride and ultimately the Black Trans Lives Matter rally and subject?
We were having events before they had theirs. It was in the same area. I believe that myself and the founder of Provex actually chose that area because we knew that it was happening right afterwards. So we just wanted to get a crowd going, and we wanted to be a part of it as well.
Cool. what inspired you to start getting involved with ProvX and as a youth-centered movement?
I had went to the June 5th protest by myself. It was something that I felt that I needed to be a part of, and I wanted to show up. And I had met the founder of ProvX. We had talked, and it was just something that I felt as a young Black woman that I needed to be a part of.
And before I move on to the questions surrounding directly the event a little more, I was also curious to know how you felt you were affected by trying to graduate high school during the pandemic.
I was affected because I was a youth. I was going through houselessness, and I was being transitioned to being very independent. It was something that wasn't really planned. I was basically by myself during the pandemic trying to figure out my housing situation and also trying to get online to be able to do my high school work to be able to graduate. So it was just a juggle. I had a lot of help. I had my teachers. Well, I had one specific teacher, her name's Kira Leander. She's also part of ProvX. And I had 2 guidance counselors who helped me pretty much graduate.
Yeah, I mean it's common for people to say that the biggest impact of this pandemic, aside from the deaths, is on education, and no small feat did you accomplish that. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
So when we found you that day, we were actually at another rally scheduled before the Black Trans Lives Matter rally and subject. It was a Black Women Lives Matter rally being organized by the Rhode Island BLM chapter, and you were actually in the process of interrupting it because they wouldn't let you talk. Why wouldn't they let you talk, and can you tell us ultimately what led to you to make that decision and what your message was that day?
Well, they wouldn't let a young, educated Black woman speak at a Black Women's Lives Matter rally. Why? I don't know. They gave myself and the founder of ProvX to run around like hints excuses of why. From there wasn't enough time to, they couldn't find the right person to speak to us, to see if we were able to speak, when there was a description in the post that it was an open mic session in between so that people could actually volunteer to speak if they wanted to. So we were just confused on what was going on. And eventually we just decided to take our microphones and speak ourselves without any questions.
So in the bigger picture, did you expect to maybe be met with that and maybe plan on maybe calling them out and interrupting, or do you just bring a megaphone to all the rallies?
I bring a megaphone to all the rallies. We're really planning it. I didn't expect to be I wasn't expecting not to be able to speak. I was expecting to be able to speak. I was excited to.
Okay.
It seemed like there was a great event going on, but then I was hit with just different things happening. They said that we couldn't speak, but yet there was one of the older members in their group who was just body shaming young women, and it was just, I didn't understand what was happening. It was a Black Women's Lives Matter rally.
I do recall that. Yeah, I do recall that.
I didn't really feel welcome, so I was just I'm a youth. She was saying a lot of things about what a lot of Black women, what I do. She was speaking down a lot of things that I do myself, so I'm just confused. I was I don't feel comfortable with this. I felt like I had to speak out against it. So yeah.
Well, kudos.
And there was a microphone in my hand, so it was Angie.
Kudos to you for that.
Thank you.
When I interrupted, the main message for me was that I was just a young Black woman and I was not allowed to speak, so I didn't feel comfortable with it being a Black Women's Lives Matter protest and them not allowing me to speak, especially since I was and am a youth and I was a former member of Provex, so I was an activist. I still am, but I was more active back then when it came to being a part of protests and rallies and just showing up for certain events, so I felt like I should have been allowed to speak. That was pretty much what I wanted to say, and I wanted to just state how I didn't agree with what they were saying when that when that older Black woman who was a part of BLM Rhode Island spoke and was talking down on women who twerk and who get their bodies done the way young Black women dress.
So I guess from here I could ask you, when you left, you kind of led a good portion of the crowd with you. Is that something you kind of plan to do, was to kind of lead a march from there out to the other event you had planned before, I guess you said? Before the Black...
We didn't have an event planned. It was what happened from the BLM chapters of when we interrupted. That was basically that little event. We took that as time for us to have like a community session to speak on how we felt like that event was wrong, and they were basically helping Black women with that rally at all. So we just took that as time to talk to people. And then we also knew that there was another event happening after, which was the Black Trans Women's Lives Matter rally. So we just decided to stay at that spot. It was a good open area too to speak as well. There wasn't really a lot of areas to speak. So
yeah,
it was a good day as well. I remember it was like really funny.
Yeah, it worked out great. That's why it almost seemed like you had planned it. I wanted to ask.
No, it was just something on the spot.
Yeah. So, did you know any of the people who ended up marching between rallies and spoke with us in between them? Were they members of the youth group Provex?
No, it was just myself and the founder of Provex that day.
Okay.
Everybody else was just a part of the crowd.
Wow, that's great. That's amazing. It was quite a bit of people. So, I guess the last thing I have to really ask about that first event, and we kind of went over it, but are there any other reasons particularly that come to mind as to why the two rallies held that day weren't held together? I know you kind of talked about why they wouldn't really let you speak, and I don't know if that was directly relevant to your involvement in the other rally or anything like that, but I was wondering if I could hear your thoughts on that.
I don't really know where they weren't held together or why. I think maybe they weren't aware of each other. I don't know. I feel like a lot of groups out here is getting to start banding together and working together. Especially when there's different events, they should just start doing them together. It'd be much better. It'd be a bigger crowd. But
yeah,
they don't. I don't know. That's something I've always wondered. Like this summer, just being a part of activism, I feel like a lot of groups out there. Even when I was a part of Provex, there's a lot of more teamwork that needs to be happening.
Yeah, you would almost imagine that those two rallies would go together very well, hand in hand.
Yeah, they would have.
So I'd like to turn our focus back towards the Black Trans Lives Matter rally we were all a part of that day. The turnout was, it was pretty impressive. It garnered a crowd that was honestly many times the size of any of the ones we'd seen that day, and several speeches were made by members of Providence Pride before marching back to the Capitol and onto the same steps we found you on earlier to listen to many truly moving speakers from all across the community. We do intend to edit footage of the march and speakers into a segment later this year, but for now I'd like to ask you some more questions about it. Have you ever been involved in anything like that before?
No, that was my first event that had to do with the LGBTQ community. I've always wanted to be a part of like the Pride Fest each summer, but I was never able to go out because I never lived in Providence. And then the coronavirus happened.
Yeah,
exactly where I wanted to start to go. I was so frustrated.
Well, here's to hoping maybe this fall or next June.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you and the founder of Provex eventually come to feel a little bit more included at that rally and with that group? Is that maybe what was maybe the theme of what you experienced?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question, please?
Did you and Brianna was her name, right? The founder of Provex that you were with that day. Was part of what inspired you guys to stick around was that maybe you just felt more included?
Her name was Brooklyn. She's the founder of Provex.
Oh, sorry, Brooklyn. Okay, yeah.
And no, I myself, I identify as part of the LGBTQ community, so I just felt included being there.
Okay.
It was just a great vibe. I just felt like it was a great turnout, like you said. It was just a great day, too. It's just something that I enjoyed being a part of and just love seeing. I love the people who showed up and turned out.
Yeah, it was one of the more impactful rallies of the year, I would say. I went to a lot of them, and that one feels very special. Not that they weren't all.
Exactly.
So, both of the times we were on the Capitol steps that day, we were greeted by police and dogs. Based on a lot of your experiences over the summer, is that Gina Raimundo's usual welcome wagon for events like this?
The dogs are a little extra, I thought. The police, I always see them. I always see the pigs at every event. They like to, at every event that they know are going to happen, whether it's at the State House, they always like to pop up. I don't know why. They don't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the dogs being there all day was a little bit extra too, considering
Definitely,
both the.
Especially when it was a Pride event, like I don't understand. It was just a great turnout, and it was a community event. I don't understand why they had that dogs, especially because it was really hot that day. I don't understand.
So, before the march, Providence Pride made several significant promises to the community regarding intersectionality, such as no longer inviting the Providence police to their events. Do you feel like this reflects positively on Providence Pride?
Definitely. I feel like it's going to be a great turnout when there's hopefully no more pandemic and no coronavirus, when those websites, another Pride event is to happen. I feel like it's going to be another great turnout. People are going to want to be more open to going to it because they know that there's not going to be any police. Like, people don't feel safe with police. I know I don't. So knowing that they're not going to be there to just stalk me, basically, that's how I feel when I see them around at any event. Knowing that they're not going to be there, I feel more safer.
That's fair. So I imagine you expect them to follow through on this promise, but I was curious to see, based on your experiences with activism over the last year, how you expect the city to possibly respond to the declaration that police aren't invited at Pride. Do you think they'll respect that?
They'll definitely respect that. They'll be happy to hear that. Like I said, there'll be an even bigger turnout, in my opinion. More people will want to come out. And the city will definitely be happy to hear that there's not going to be any police at Pride. I know I was happy when I heard that.
Yeah. So, have you been involved in anything like the Black Trans Lives Matter rally since it happened, and did the Black Trans Lives Matter rally have a lasting impact or perhaps on the path that Provex eventually took through the rest of the summer?
It definitely had a great effect on me. I felt like it was a great event. It was a good day for me. It made my day. I haven't been to any other events recently, since then, but if I was aware of, like, if I was made aware of any, I would definitely be open to them.
So, as I said before, later this year, likely in June for Pride Month, Brittany and I are going to sort through the footage and recordings of this event and edit them into a small feature. Particularly the speakers from the bigger steps up at the Capitol. So while I'd like people to look forward to that, I'm wondering if you're planning anything related or unrelated to this that you'd also like people to look forward to and might want to plug here.
For now, I don't have anything that's coming up or anything that I'm planning. If I do have anything that comes up, I'll definitely let you know.
Yeah, well, we'd be happy to sponsor any sort of rally you want to be a part of, for sure.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So thank you so much for talking with us today, and considering everything we've discussed, from your incredible bravery at the Black Women's Lives Matter rally to leading the Black Trans Lives Matter march across town the very same day, and all the while speaking publicly and encouraging other youth to use their voices. It's been inspiring to be a part of telling this story, and I hope we can look forward to more correspondence from you in the future, Najeli.
Thank you. It was great talking to you.
You too. Have a great night.
You as well. Bye-bye.
So for this update, I thought that I would show you guys some of what I've been working on lately. I'm drawing with geometry here. Let's see if we can get the camera to behave about it. There we go. So I've got this drawing down to formula pretty much, and I'm gonna do a little montage for you while I draw another copy of it right here. So you can see I've measured out a little grid with some points marked to it. They're gonna help me orient all the geometric patterns I need to, and get a pretty identical and symmetrical image. I hope you guys enjoy.